Does a company need local bank accounts in a foreign country, and what are some things you'd advise there?
Well, yeah, again, and I know maybe Bill can chime in on this as well, but I think local bank accounts generally may be required in places where there is a minimum capital requirement. Generally, you have to put a certain amount of funds in an account before a company can be opened. These days, this process can be very cumbersome and time-consuming, particularly for private companies, due to a variety of different banking laws and the KYC or Know Your Client requirements, which require detailed information of owners. Generally, we think of the creating banking relationships first with a bank in the U.S. that has the ability to manage your banking relationships overseas. It's certainly easier to set up foreign bank accounts with an existing banking relationship than it is to try to go into a new country and create that relationship from scratch.
Yeah, and I agree, Mike. Really, you have to know what the regulations are. There are certain countries that are definitely going to require you to set up a bank account. Although it's not quite as popular, there still are countries that will allow you to use trust accounts. I think, and in countries like China, you're going to have to register 2 bank accounts: one for your capital injection, and then one for your operating expenses. I think people ask me, what's the difference between a local bank and working with through a U.S. bank? And as Mike touched on, really it's the level of service. We go through a local bank. Oftentimes they're not even going to have a software where you can go on, log in, and check your balances. Where if you work with a U.S. bank like Silicon Valley Bank, they have a very robust software. All your accounts, your balances, everything is right there at your fingertips. It just provides you a lot more service.
Yeah, I think we often remind clients to start thinking about the bank account really on day one, because it is shocking sometimes how long the process to get the bank account up and running actually takes, and particularly when you have employees in country who want to use a corporate credit card and other things, it can take a few months, so something to consider there.